Hello folks, welcome back to Wayfarer VCV Rack Patches. I'm your host, Dr. Lawrence W. Moore, and I'm from the Wayfarer Project. Keep following the same old script, huh? In this episode, I am going to be building for you a patch where you can use MIDI to trigger it, either from a DAW, straight from your keyboard. If you use the VST feature of Rack 2 Pro, that'll work fine for this. Or if you use a MIDI loopback or virtual MIDI port of some kind to connect a DAW to a VCV rack, that will work too. So basically, we're going to use something that executes a drum beat with a press key and a little bit of a groove, a sequence patch, in other words. It's one that I've dabbled with in the past, and I'm trying to improve on it, and it sounds pretty cool, so I thought I'd share it with you. Might learn some new modules you haven't checked out before, or something else like that. So join me on this adventure. Basically, it's a sequence groove with some formant sounds, which are vocalization type sounds that can be produced with either specialized oscillators or by filtering in certain ways. You can emphasize some partials in the frequency spectrum of sounds that kind of sound almost like vowel sounds, or ooh, that kind of stuff. And so it sounds pretty cool, so let's check it out. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to basically press a key on my keyboard and use the mod wheel to do little sound manipulations here so you can see kind of like what it sounds like. So that's executed by pressing one key, or you can go from one key to another. It basically takes in one note at a time and does that. I was playing with the mod wheel there just to make some effects happen. And so let's check this out. We're going to make something very similar right now and get to know some cool modules along the way, I believe. So I am going to, let's see here, zoom in. And let's open up my mixer patch that I start with on just about everything. Okay. So anyway, in episode 1, I go over this whole mixer setup that I use. So if you haven't checked out episode 1, please do, because I'm not going to be going over the setup each episode of the same modules over and over again. This is a great mixing setup, and it's a great way to build patches. I mean, you could always take out things you don't use later, but it's a great way to start building. It gives me on the fly the things that I need to do sorts of things. So anyway, I am going to add to this an effect, though. Those of you who have been following along in the series know that I have this Reverb 2 from SurgeXT there on my favorite reverb, which is called Now That's Echo. And I'm going to put in the delay from SurgeXT and hook this up as effect 2 because there's going to be delay in this stuff. Helps enhance the drum beat as well as those formant sounds. So let's do this. This is going to be send B. Now let's return it. And here we go. Cool beans. Now, the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to just add the sequencer and then drums one at a time. There's a sequencer that's real simple, straightforward, and for simple, straightforward drum beats, I like to use it. It's from SV Modular, and I'll also be using the SV Modular drum modules for this as well. They are free downloads from the VCV Rack library. SV is in Victor, SV Modular. And I clicked the wrong thing. Alrighty. Will I use this at some point? Well, whatever. There we go. We want the sequencer. And then I'm going to put in a clock source. I might as well use the SV Modular clock generator. It's called GNOME, G-N-O-M-E. And it looks like that. And I'm going to hook it up here to, I'll turn this off for the time being. So when we hook things up and stuff, turn it on and off. I am going to, now what I found is if you set a BPM here, like 115 or 120, whatever it is, right click on this and go 120. I find that the best division to come out, if we look at this here, what's clicking at 120? The quarter note, which is as it should be. But sometimes when I hook it up here, I have to switch it out for the 16th. Strange. Let's see if that is the case again. But just so you know, we have those divisions of the beat there, and I like the purple for my clock signals. So there we go. Now, this is a pretty straightforward sequencer, but it's got all the stuff you need for percussion. There's a reset signal here, so you can reset it to beginning of the sequence. We'll be using that. There is, of course, the play, start, run, function, whatever you want to call it. And then there's cycle to cycle through the different sequences. This screen here is basically like a page, and the number of the pages you can go through here. Selecting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You can select up to 16 different pages, which would be 16 different presets, so to speak. Go back to 1. And then here you have basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that you can play in a row. You can change the values, like it's all set for 1 right now, but you can put 1, 2, 3, or you can have 1, 1, 2, 1, whatever pages you want in whatever order. And you have some convenient copy and paste buttons here for repeating things throughout. All right, so that's how that works, and pretty much it sends out. Now, it says gate, and there are gate inputs on the SV Modular drum kits, so I'm going to assume it is gate, although in these things it looks almost like a trigger would work for them because they have their own built-in decay times, many of them. So I'm going to type in drum, or actually let's do bass drum because we're going to start with that. And there are a couple of different bass drums here with SV Modular. I like this one, the marionette bass. It kind of has a little more realistic qualities to it. It's not that I want necessarily something that sounds exactly like a drum kit, but I like a little bit more of a natural sound sometimes. There is also a synth bass drum set there. And there's a couple of modules that are sets of drums that are like different kit types. All right, so I'm going to take, these are pre-labeled. I mean, just because of their label doesn't mean you have to put that kind of drummer on that track, but it's good to use it if you can, so you don't get confused. All right, gate is up here, so that will turn this drum on, and here's its output. We're going to basically just select our sounds at first, so I'm just going to put in, okay, let's do that, a little double tap there at the beginning. So this is like quarter note expression here, and 2/8, quarter, 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 if you think of the 4 divisions as 16th notes. But of course, depending on how your clock sends in beat divisions, you could change that. This is basically, you know, if you want resolution to the 16th note, this is like a measure, you know, which is the common way to use it, but it's not a requirement. So anyway, we are not on, so if we turn it on, okay, so now I can kind of tweak my sound a little bit here. And there's a number of cool settings here. I mean, you have decay of 2 varieties here. Like how quickly the sound decays. You see what I mean? And then this one, like here, I'm going to turn this up so the decay time is longer. So you see both of these decays do have an impact. This one seems to be more like the overall amplitude decay. All right, so I'm going to leave it like that. Now, you also have a sustain portion that you can use. Since these are gate inputs, this one, yeah, does have a sustain portion that can be used, and a release. But you can kind of hear that release is already, you know, kind of towards the end of the whole amplitude and pitch bend sequence of it. So the decay seems to have more of an overriding factor there. It's not really decay, sustain, release like from an ADSR. In other words, it's they're their own things. Okay, and so here, let me see. The tuning, I'll leave it where it's at for now. And we have here blend. Yeah, it's kind of like a blend between this side and this side. There we go. And then there is a select here because it really allows for different kind of timbral options. All these modules have their own select knobs on them. All these SV Modular modules. Now the wave, let's change that. This is too buzzy for my tastes. There we go. There, I'm liking that better. It's like a mix between the beater hit and the body of the sound. So let's say we like that. We don't need to go through all the features of this module. That's something that folks can play with on their own It's a very cool bass drum module. Okay, so let's select our other kit sounds. Let's do a snare. And some of the modules in SV Modular come with two of the same module, like it's a double module. Basically, both the top and the bottom portion have the same features, and so you could actually have two snare drums at the same time if you wish. They only have one snare line in their sequencer, though. But you could replace a hi-hat or use one of the aux lines up here. There's aux 1, 2. But I'm actually going to be using all of these. So I'm just going to use the top snare here. Alrighty. We need to put in some musical material for it. I'm going to have snare on the upbeats. And I think in the beat before, what I did is I put it on the beat for measures 3 and 4. Now, if this is a whole measure, this is what I meant before when I started off. The flashing here looks like quarter note equals 120. But if this was one measure in 120, it'd be like, and it's not going that speed. So I'm going to put on 16th. That's 120. Now let's play with our delay here a little bit. And the way I'm going to do it, you'll see why later when we put an envelope over this whole thing so we can trigger it with MIDI. I'm going to put the kick on 1, group 1. Now let's see what happens when we put that kick into the delay, which is send B. That actually sounds pretty cool, even though I haven't hooked up the clock yet. Now, the clock will still kind of work with other divisions of the beat. You can put it on the same one here, but I'm going to try putting it on 8th note. I like that. Now you can do like we did in the last episode, play with your feedback amount. I think that's a good amount of repetitions there. This is bringing their presence up a little more with the crossfade, so the repetitions sound a little stronger. Now, do I want to shift their timing on the left and right? This is sounding better than the beat I made as the example. All right. Now, that delay has a setting. And I'm actually going to change. Well, actually, no. Let's do this. Let's add another delay. What I'm going to do here is initialize these so it lines up from side to side. I want to make a different delay, like an alternate delay. So I'm putting this on group 2. And group 2 will have, in this case it'll be send C. Let's hook it up. A different delay. Remember, send A is just reverb. We can try that out too, a little bit. But right now I want to get some cool rhythms going. And right now that snare is just like not sounding as interesting. But I don't necessarily want it to be on the same same delay pattern that the kick is. So let's hook you up to a clock, and you know what? In this case, let's try another one. Let's try quarter note divisions. And so now this is group 2 that the snare is on. Yep. So I'm going to send group 2 to C. I think we need to shorten. We can't. But, you know, let's try a different snare sound. Too much. Let's turn down the crossfade here so repetitions aren't as loud. And let's do a little shifting. Okay, we'll go with that. And let's see if either of these groups could benefit from that was actually the kick group. That could be used as an effect, you know, an accent effect at times. But anyway, let's try a few more drums here. The hats. I like to use this one that's just hi-hat because it has a select knob where you can select a few open and closed hi-hats. So I can use one module space here. and do the closed and the open on one. Now the open hi-hat module itself definitely gives you more options. So, but I was trying this out and I like some of the sounds here, so I'm going to go with it. So let's do a closed hi-hat here. Just going to do taps. What did I hook it up to? Oh, I just skipped one. That's what I did. Try a few. I think I might go with that. And let's pan these a little bit apart. Just a little bit, the snare and the hi-hat. And I think I'm going to put the hi-hat on the same. Well, let's try a group 1 effect. That sounds pretty cool. Now let's try our friend here. Kind of like that one, but it's quiet. Let's see what happens when we put that, just to vary the hi-hats, let's put that on 2. Oh yeah. We done grooving. Okay, we are overloading here. We could turn down both groups by 3 dB. It might be the sends, because I am sending a lot. Let's just lower these a little bit. Or leave these up and just turn down the faders here. Man, okay. We're getting there. I do have a compressor over here that I can use. What we can do is take the group outs. Group outs would be channels 1 and 2 on this compressor here. The group 1. go to group 2. They're at about the same settings. This one has the snare in it. Yeah, everything is coming through better now, but I'm still clipping. Well, it sounds good. It doesn't sound clipped to me, but technically it is. It looks like group 1. There's a lot more dynamic variation here. Let's see something here, the kick drum. No, don't need that. Okay. I was trying to make it speak a bit more. Let's do this. Turn the threshold down. And the output. But I'm going to have to do the same to 2 now. Okay, we're at least not clipping until we add more. Let's see here. Although I do have a compressor on the way out here. Let's see here. Here the threshold knob works the opposite of what you might think. You see the red-ish thing in the middle there. That's the compressor. Turn up the ratio. And the attack should be fast. Release. Quick, but not too quick. Right about there. I guess my headphones must be turned down or something, because we are getting pretty strong signal here on the audio out. But there, we were able to get a little more out of it. But the kick needs a bit more. I'm going to go to its compressor, the individual compressor on the kick. Channel 1. We can hear it better now. that's doing all sorts of funky things in my ears. Let's see here. The kick, maybe the tuning can come up. Just too much of a wash right now. Okay, the kick's there. Now let's go ahead. Got our hi-hats. Let's add some toms. And what I'm going to do is put the toms in as a fill. So here we have 0, 1. Let's have that repeat for 2, 3 measures, and then the 4th measure we're going to have pattern 2. So let's turn off the playback so we can copy things right. I want to take pretty much the same beat but add a little something to it. Copy. Go up to 2. Paste. All right. But here in 2, I'm going to add the tom hits. And what I'll do is find a tom sound I like. And then put it on both. And then we'll see which effect works best for them. Okay, and what is the rhythm I want to do? How about bump, bump, dun. Bump, 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 bump. There we go. On screen 2. Okay. Let's hear it. This will play every 4th measure. There it is. Sorry, I gotta wait 4 measures each time to get it. I think I was able to select another one here. Let's see. No. One down. Here we go. Yeah, that's good. Let's put this one on the same one, but just change the tuning. Make sure they're on the same one by hooking it up. Yep. But I'm going to change their tuning. Make this one a little higher. Make this one a little lower. There we go. But these are going to have to be brought up in level. They are 5 and 6 respectively. There's one. Oh yeah, like a timpani. Let's pan them a bit, and then try the effects on them. Let's try effect 1. Try 2. I like that. But I could see their signal is low still. Sounds pretty cool. I like it. Alright, so now the formants. Let's bring them in. I'm going to need a macro oscillator from Audible Instruments, free module. And it does need an envelope. I think I'm going to just use I'm going to use the ADSR from Bafaco. It is mono, so it's no problem using this. And we're going to use the aux1 and aux2 lines. Oops, green for gate. And out from here. This is going to be channel 7. And this one I'm going to put in the vowel formant, which is vowel. Imagine that. Now, we're going to need some MIDI. We'll need some MIDI. And I'm going to put it right in line, everything in a line here, in a row. MIDI to CV, right here you are. Because we're going to want it to play the notes that we're playing on the keyboard. Let's go to the appropriate keyboard device and hook the pitch up. Okay. Now the gate I have coming from this guy, because the notes are going to be turned on and off by the sequence. And it's this row. And I think what I'm going to do is do upbeats. Let's stop it so I can enter these things without it screwing me up. Okay, here we go. And then actually, I think the rhythm that I like is the one I did before, where let's do this. I'm actually going to put in the rhythm for the other Formant oscillator. We're going to use two Formant oscillators. This is the vowel, and the other one will be other. Alternate them back and forth, and then this one repeats for the rest of it, and then on measure 2, we'll just do a longer version of that, where I said a measure, I meant like a beat. So it just does that repeated stuff on the one Formant oscillator for longer. Let's see. I'm holding down a key so it has a pitch to play. Yeah, we need to hook up the audio cable. I don't know how I thought I did it. Must have dreamt it. Okay. That's annoying. Do I not have the gate hooked up? I thought for sure I did that. Where is the gate hooked up to? Here? No. What did I hook it up to? Wrong thing. It's hooked up to the audio input on channel 7, which is also where the audio is hooked up. That's why I thought I hooked up the audio already. I had hooked the gate up to the audio. Okay. We have a shape. I do see gate messages coming out. And we are going into the volume input on... Oh, well, I turned it down, that's right. Now it's still playing while I release the keyboard because we're not gating the whole thing yet. I just want to make sure we are on monophonic. And I want to use pitch bend. I'd like it to bend an octave. I like that. Now I also want to be able to and this allows you to bend this within this range. So I'm basically, well, I'm going to test it out because I'm going to use the mod wheel to adjust some settings and just see what I can get to. Let's try this. No, right about here and here. Now, well, we could always put it on reverb, but there's only two groups and they're both delays. All right. Need to bring it up more. We are on channel 7, right? Yep. Okay. Let's copy these guys and put you on VFOF. We need to hook up pitch. Oh, we're not using this gate just yet. Mod wheel, yes. But I need to get the sound first. Gate's coming from here. Okay, let's see what we got. Let's see how the range is for the mod wheel. Try this one on group 2. This kick needs to come up more now. Try something. Yeah, maybe it doesn't need the effect. Sorry, I'm jamming out here. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry about that. A little too into myself. This one I'm definitely going to be working on later and making it into something special here. Let me save it before I forget. There's one more thing we're going to do. We're going to see how now to trigger it with MIDI, because right now it doesn't turn on and off with MIDI. We need to gate it up, and so that's what's happening next. Oh yeah, baby. I'm digging this a lot. Where am I making? And this series here, indeed. And I'll just name it what this was named before. But I'll put a B behind it, because this is not the one I made before the episode, but the one during. And I like it better. Now, what we need is a gate on this puppy. Now let me check something here. We have a run in here. trigger this, turn it off and on, and then there's a reset here. I think we're going to have to use both resets. So let me get out our envelope gate from VCV. And this is just going to be basically like a big old on-off switch. So I'm going to make its attack time as quick as possible, put its decay and sustain all the way up. Well, actually, the decay can be all the way down. So it's no longer part of an envelope. And then the release will be as fast as possible. Okay, and it's going to hook up here to the gate from our MIDI module. Now, this gate is going to go to two places. This is why I did everything in groups. Unless you want to run, gate cables for each channel, we're already taking up the volume inputs there. So you'd have to use separate VCAs for the other gating, and then in here you could hook this gate up to turn on and off all channels. But since we have groups, we could just basically put it right here on the volume input of the groups. So this now turns them on and off. So we should hear when I press a key. Well, I need to put the master fader back up. You got to make sure you're in monophonic mode. I already did that. Oh, the kick is not in a group. Let's see if it comes through in group 2 better. I release the key. It's not going away all that fast. I understand there would be what do you call it? A delay tail, and that might be what I'm hearing, but in the previous one I made, I wasn't hearing it all that strong here. Do we have any CVs here that yeah, the delay is too long. Maybe if I turn this down a little bit here, the crossfade. I know something I can do. I'm going to use the ADSR from... Oh, that's not the right one. EG? Yeah, here we go. This one has the SurgeXT envelope gate. Has an ADSR. And I can basically use as an on-off switch. It has a gate input here, which we will hook up to our MIDI. I almost didn't get that cough button in time. There we go. There, it's turning on and off with my keys now. There we go. That's much better. Now, what I also need to have happen is to reset this thing. It can run all the time, that's fine, as long as it resets back to the beginning whenever the key is pressed. So we'll try hooking that up to the gate here. And there's a reset here. I think this might help us stay on beat better. Okay. Because it'll reset the click. Now that I'm no longer using these groups, we could remix this. I'm going to turn down the aux ends for the groups. Let's put all these on one channel. See, the reason why I was using the groups before was I wanted to be able to use the gate on everything, and it was easier just to put it on the group channels, but now there's a much better gate. So in many ways, I'm glad that happened. I found a much better way to gate. And I will remember this now. Okay, so now they're all individual. So let us solo. Press a key. Oh, that's the reverb. Hold on here. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is, rather than soloing, is mute everything else and then bring them in one at a time. Snare. This one I am going to right click on and go to initialize. Clear all that I did with the groups. So now I can do the snare individually. And I remember this one was on group 2, which had delay 2, which is actually send C. We're not using the reverb at this point. Okay, and then the hi-hats I'll do all at the same time. Pan them the same way. hi-hats now are going to be on which one? Send B or C? How did I know we were going red already? I might need to compress these hi-hats. You are on 3, right? Turn off bypass. There we go. And then we're going to go to channel 4, which is the second hi-hat. Now 5 and 6 are toms. Whoa. They're distorting. Up a little bit. There we go. Still going red. Let's see here. Those are the sends. Down there a little bit. No, this is a hi-hat. This goes with the other hi-hat. And then here, toms. There we go. They're cool. I've already taken a lot of time with this. So I'm going to try to clear that up on my own time. But there we go. We now have one change I want to make. I'm feeling a little bit of a hole at times in the vocoder part, and I think it might be because I think the second one I'm going to put on this effect. Let's see now. Will be here. Yeah, it's there on that page 2. It drops that voice a little bit, and I need to fix that. Let's see right here. Yeah, I'm going to do it the same way. Have this go longer there. There we go. Let's try that. All right, thank you for sticking with me so long. Actually, there's probably nobody there anymore. But if there is, thank you for sticking with me for so long in the creation of this beautiful sound. I really am digging it. But if you like this or found it valuable at all, please hit that like button. And please leave a comment if you have any questions or comments. Yeah, anything constructive is welcome, and in fact encouraged, because it helps this video get disseminated. Until next time, take care and stay weird.